In a remote corner of Central Asia lies a land where women can choose multiple lovers through ancient walking marriages, where bride kidnapping still happens today, and where not bathing for years was once considered sacred. Today you'll understand why Mongolia remains one of Earth's most enigmatic countries, and I guarantee at least 3 of these facts will blow your mind. Some of these facts are so extreme they might seem unbelievable, but I've verified each one through extensive research. Let's dive into the mysteries of Mongolia. Fact 1. The sacred art of never bathing. Let's start with something that will immediately grab your attention. During the reign of Genghis Khan, not bathing wasn't just normal, it was considered sacred. Mongolians believed that washing with water would disturb the dragon veins beneath the earth and anger the gods. Warriors would go months, sometimes years, without a single bath. But here's where it gets truly wild. The stronger your body odor, the more blessed you were considered to be. If Genghis Khan himself gave you his old, sweat-stained, lice-infested clothes, you'd wear them as the ultimate status symbol. The smell wasn't just tolerated, it was worshipped. Warriors wore the same clothes until they literally fell apart, only occasionally shaking them out to let the lice drop off. This wasn't about being dirty, this was about spiritual purity in their belief system. While modern Mongolia has largely abandoned this practice, some remote communities still follow variations of this ancient tradition. What do you think about loyalty? If you think it's crazy, comment the number 4 below and get ready to witness a bizarre culture coming up next. Fact 2. The capital that defies logic. Moving from Mongolia's powerful past to its present, let's talk about Ulaanbaatar. Ulaanbaatar is not only Mongolia's largest city, but it also holds the title of being the largest capital in the world in terms of surface area. Its expanse is enormous, and its population density is one of the lowest in the world, with about 2 people per square kilometer. Ulaanbaatar holds the title of being the coldest capital in the world, with temperatures reaching 30 degrees Celsius below zero, which is negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet somehow this icy metropolis is also home to over 300 bars and nightclubs. While you're bundled up like an Arctic explorer just to walk to the store, Mongolians are partying the night away in one of the world's most active nightlife scenes. But Mongolia is known as the land of the blue sky due to its 260 sunny days a year. Fact 3. Walking marriages and the kingdom of women. In Mongolia, there's an extraordinary tradition called walking marriages, practiced by the Moshuo people of Mongolian origin. After a coming-of-age ceremony, Moshuo women can choose their lovers, having as many or as few as they wish in their lives. Moshuo couples do not live together, and babies are raised exclusively in the mother's families. Brothers and uncles play the paternal role. This system developed because of Mongolia's nomadic culture. With men constantly moving in search of fresh pastures, hunting or discovering new living spaces, it was common for many of them to get lost along the way and perish. This left their wives without the help and support their husbands could offer them. The Moshuo people created what is known as the Kingdom of Women. Their remoteness from habitable areas and their nomadic character have allowed them to preserve customs not found anywhere else in the world. Impressed by this? Don't forget to hit the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you won't miss any upcoming content. Fact 4. Bride kidnapping still exists. There's an ancient tradition called bride kidnapping or nuptial kidnapping. In this ritual, a man can abduct the woman he desires as a wife and take her to his home, where a marriage ceremony takes place. Although this ritual was more common in the past and is now prohibited by law in Mongolia, vestiges of this tradition can still be found in some rural areas. The tradition stems from Mongolia's unique warrior past, where strength and boldness were valued above all else. Fact 5. Drinking rituals. Mongolia has elaborate drinking ceremonies that must be followed perfectly, or you'll insult your entire host family. Men must kneel on both knees, bow their heads low, and respectfully extend both hands forward to receive the drink. Unmarried girls follow the same ritual, but married women only kneel on one knee while raising their right hand. Newly married brides have to add a special chant while toasting. Mongolians believe that if you don't drink with proper enthusiasm, you're cursing their family's livestock. So they'll keep refilling your cup until you've proven your respect. Many tourists have ended up hospitalized from alcohol poisoning simply by being polite. Yet refusing means you'll be shunned from the community entirely. The drinking doesn't stop there. On New Year's Eve, they pour the first cup of tea outside, sprinkling it in all 4 directions to appease the spirits. Then they wash all the dishes with horse milk instead of water. Fact 6. Hospitality so extreme they'll share their beds. In a nomadic lifestyle that has lasted for thousands of years, Mongolians understand the feeling of loneliness in the vast steppe. Therefore, helping and welcoming strangers has become a survival rule, not just a courtesy. On the grasslands, a hot meal, a bowl of salty milk tea, and a place to sleep for the night can be the difference between life and death. So when you step into a GR tent, don't be surprised if no one asks who are you. Instead, you'll be handed a glass of arag, fermented mare's milk, with a warm smile and the question sanu, meaning how are you? In fact, if you stay overnight, some families following old customs may even offer you the best sleeping spot, giving you their best beds or blankets, and sometimes even letting their partners sleep beside you for the ultimate expression of traditional hospitality. Of course, this is rare today, but it has happened. What do you think about the warmth and hospitality of the Mongolian people? Leave a comment below and let us know. Fact 7. Sitting on trillions. Here's a mystery that reveals the cruel ironies of the modern world. Mongolia sits on one of the world's largest reserves of gold, copper, and coal worth trillions of dollars. Yet 36% of the population lives below the poverty line. This isn't a case of resources being hard to extract or access. Mongolia has massive mining operations run by international companies pulling billions of dollars worth of materials from the ground every year. The problem is that almost none of this wealth reaches ordinary Mongolians. While super-rich mining tycoons live in luxury mansions in Ulaanbaatar, driving imported sports cars and shopping for designer goods, the majority of Mongolians earn less than $2 per day. That's not enough to buy 2 bowls of soup, let alone survive in one of the world's harshest climates. The cruel irony is that many of these impoverished Mongolians are former nomads who were forced to abandon their traditional lifestyle when mining companies claimed their ancestral grazing lands. They've moved to the outskirts of cities, living in makeshift shanty towns without electricity or running water. This creates a situation where the country is incredibly wealthy on paper but desperately poor in reality. Fact 8. A postal system that requires an army of horses. Mongolia's mail delivery system is like something from a fantasy novel. With 99% of the country uninhabited and most people constantly moving as nomads, delivering a simple letter becomes an epic quest. A single postal route can stretch for hundreds of kilometers across empty steppes with no roads, no landmarks, and no GPS coordinates. Postal workers must memorize the migration patterns of nomadic families and predict where they'll be during different seasons. The system requires over 50,000 horses stationed at more than 1,400 relay points across the country. That's more horses than most armies in medieval times. Postal workers regularly travel 200 kilometers per day, switching horses multiple times as they race across the wilderness. During winter storms, when visibility drops to 0 and temperatures hit -50 degrees, these postal workers continue their routes because entire communities depend on mail delivery for medicine, news, and contact with the outside world. Fact 9. The world's smallest navy on a lake. You might think that a country without a sea wouldn't have a navy, right? Mongolia has no coastline, not even a large river flowing to the ocean. Yet it still has an official navy. And you won't be able to help but smile when you find out that this force consists of exactly 7 people, not 7 units, not 7 ships, but 7 sailors, including 1 commander and a few others who also double as full-time tour guides. This tiny fleet is stationed on Lake Kovskol, one of the largest and most beautiful freshwater lakes in Mongolia. The lake covers an area of about 1,400 square miles, nearly the size of the state of Rhode Island, and is over 860 feet deep, wide and deep enough to support a symbolic naval force. But here's what makes this even more interesting. These 7 naval officers take their duties seriously. They patrol the lake, conduct rescue operations, and maintain Mongolia's claim to having a complete military structure. It's simultaneously the most practical and most absurd navy in the world. Fact 10. The White Month Festival. In the vast snow-covered land of Mongolia, as the winter monsoon still sweeps over the traditional tents, the people here eagerly prepare for Tsagan Sar, at the largest and most sacred festival of the year. Often likened to the Lunar New Year for Mongolians, Tsagan Sar means white month. Unlike the noisy parties in modern urban settings, Tsagan Sar is a festival of serenity and hospitality. For several days, Mongolians wear colorful traditional attire, visiting relatives, friends, and neighbors near and far. Upon entering a home, guests are invited to sit by the warm stove and enjoy a lavish feast. Notably, the Mongolian New Year table is always filled with traditional pastries, boiled meat, milk, and dishes made from butter and goat milk, symbolizing abundance, purity, and good luck. Guests are not only invited to eat but also blessed according to ancient customs. They raise both hands, gently touching each other's elbows as a symbol of respect. The most common blessing is Amgalan Taiwan Biji, wishing you peace and tranquility. What makes this festival mysterious is how it completely transforms Mongolian society. During Sagan Sar, all normal activities stop. Business closes, travel halts, and the entire country focuses on family connections and spiritual renewal. It's like the entire nation enters a different dimension of time where ancient values take precedence over modern concerns. Have you ever seen a dish cooked with hot stones inside an animal's body? Stay tuned to find out. Fact 11. Culinary culture. Imagine a meal in the vast steppe in a traditional GR tent by a crackling fire. The host, a hospitable nomad, invites you to try Boo's steamed mutton dumplings, soft and hot, with a rich aroma wafting through the chilly highland winds. Accompanying this is a glass of arag, fermented mare's milk with a mild sour taste. Bubbly, rustic, yet hearty, just like the Mongolian spirit. But here's what most visitors don't expect. This fermented mare's milk contains alcohol, and refusing it is considered deeply insulting. What's special about the dining culture here is the appreciation and connection. When invited to eat, you should not refuse. Sometimes a warm cup of milk or a piece of mutton fat offered is not just food, but a friendly greeting, a sign of trust. But the real mystery lies in how Mongolians have survived for centuries on what seems like an impossible diet. In a land where vegetables are scarce and the growing season lasts only a few months, nomads have thrived on dairy products, meat, and fermented beverages that would make most modern people sick. The fermentation process they've perfected over generations creates probiotics and nutrients that keep them healthy in one of the world's harshest environments. What looks like a limited diet is actually a sophisticated nutritional system developed over thousands of years of trial and error. Fact 12. Sky burials. Sky burial, a funerary practice dating back to the 16th century, began when Altan Khan declared Buddhism the national religion, thereby outlawing traditional ground burials. This custom involves leaving the deceased exposed in remote areas for scavenging birds and animals to consume, symbolizing the final virtuous act of giving back to nature. The rituals are precise and deeply meaningful. A close male relative prepares the body, covering it with a cloth called a kadak, and transporting it to the burial site. The body is placed with the head facing north. The family returns after 3 days to check if it has been fully consumed, signifying the spirit's release. But here's what makes this practice truly mysterious. In Mongolia's harsh climate, where the ground is frozen solid for most of the year, traditional burial becomes nearly impossible. Sky burial isn't just a spiritual practice, it's a practical solution to environmental challenges. The ceremony reflects their deep reverence for nature and the impermanence of life. Mongolians believe that by feeding the birds and animals, the deceased person's final act contributes to the cycle of life on the steppe. The body nourishes the creatures that will, in turn, nourish the land. Despite facing challenges from urbanization and environmental changes, sky burial remains a significant cultural practice among Mongolian nomads. It represents a worldview where death is not an ending but a transformation that serves the greater ecosystem. Fact 13. Horsemanship, archery, and eagle hunting. Renowned for its equestrian culture, Mongolia regards the Mongolian horse as a symbol of national pride. These horses, known for their resilience, strength, and endurance, are perfectly suited to the harsh Mongolian terrain. In Mongolia, horseback riding transcends sport. It is a vital aspect of daily life and survival for nomadic families. Horses are indispensable, serving as transportation, moving goods, and assisting in herding animals. From a young age, children are taught to ride, fostering a profound connection with these remarkable animals. But here's where it gets truly extraordinary. Mongolian children often learn to ride before they can walk properly. By age 5, they're participating in horse races across distances that would challenge adult riders in other countries. These aren't gentle pony rides, these are full-speed races across dangerous terrain. Archery is another ancient skill deeply ingrained in Mongolian culture. For centuries, Mongolians have mastered a unique style of archery that often involves a thumb draw, enabling more powerful and precise shots. Traditional Mongolian bows, crafted from wood, horn, and sinew, showcase the artisanal craftsmanship passed down through generations. Eagle hunting stands out as the most distinctive tradition in Mongolia. Hunters train golden eagles to assist in capturing prey, forming a strong bond between hunter and bird. This practice, which has endured through the ages, is celebrated annually at the Golden Eagle Festival. Here, hunters and their majestic birds demonstrate their skills, drawing tourists and preserving this extraordinary cultural heritage. The relationship between hunter and eagle is so intimate that the birds recognize their human partners from great distances and respond to subtle hand signals and calls. What makes this mysterious is the level of communication achieved between human and wild bird. These aren't domesticated animals, they're wild golden eagles with wingspans reaching 8 feet. Yet they form partnerships with humans that can last for decades, hunting together across the vast Mongolian landscape. Fact 14, the world's most gruesome goat dish. Mongolia is renowned for its nomadic tribes, and since ancient times, the people here have developed cooking methods that are both practical and require minimal tools. Among these, the most distinctive and famous is the method of cooking with hot stones. This unique method is epitomized by budog, a roasted goat dish that intrigues anyone who hears about it. Despite what the name might suggest, budog does not involve dog meat. It is made from goat. But here's where this dish becomes truly shocking. Budog involves cooking an entire goat or marmot by stuffing its carcass with hot stones, onions, potatoes, and other vegetables. The animal is cooked from the inside out, with the hot stones creating an internal oven that cooks the meat while preserving all the juices. The preparation process is what makes this dish so extreme. The goat is skinned and cleaned, but the carcass remains whole. Red-hot stones are placed inside the body cavity along with vegetables and seasonings. The opening is then sealed, and the entire animal is cooked over an open fire. Budog is typically enjoyed in winter because its rich and hot nature helps Mongolians endure the bitter cold. The cooking method ensures that nothing is wasted, and the intense heat from the stones creates incredibly tender meat with flavors that penetrate throughout the entire animal. What's mysterious about this cooking method is how it was developed. Someone thousands of years ago figured out that heating stones to extreme temperatures and placing them inside an animal carcass would create the perfect cooking environment. This technique requires precise timing and temperature control that rivals modern cooking methods. Fact 15. The sacred art of giving with both hands. In Mongolian culture, when presenting or receiving a gift, it's customary to use both hands. This gesture, often accompanied by a slight bow, shows profound respect for the giver or recipient. For example, when exchanging a hat, egg, or a ceremonial silk scarf, using both hands is essential. This extends to other aspects of etiquette, such as receiving food or drinks, where the item is held with both hands or with the right hand supported by the left wrist. But this practice goes much deeper than simple politeness. In Mongolian culture, the act of giving and receiving is considered a sacred exchange of energy between people. Using both hands demonstrates that you're fully present and committed to the interaction. This practice highlights the significance of hospitality and mutual respect in Mongolian culture. So next time you're in Mongolia, remember to embrace this beautiful tradition of giving and receiving with both hands. This practice is more than just politeness. It's about recognizing the thought and effort behind the gift. In a nomadic society where material possessions are limited and every item has practical value, the act of giving becomes a profound gesture of trust and friendship. The mystery lies in how this simple gesture creates such powerful social bonds. By requiring both hands, the culture ensures that every exchange becomes a moment of mindful connection between people. You can't give or receive with both hands while distracted or disengaged. We've journeyed through 15 of Mongolia's most mysterious and shocking facts, from sacred unwashed warriors to walking marriages, from bride kidnapping to sky burials, from the world's smallest navy to cooking methods that seem impossible in the modern world. What makes Mongolia truly mysterious isn't just these individual practices. It's how they all connect to create a culture that has survived virtually unchanged for over 1,000 years. While the rest of the world has modernized and urbanized, Mongolia has maintained traditions that seem to come from another planet. These aren't just curiosities or tourist attractions. They're living examples of how human societies can develop completely different solutions to universal challenges like survival, relationships, death, and community building. Mongolia shows us that there are many ways to be human, and some of them are far more extreme than anything we might imagine. The real mystery of Mongolia is how these ancient traditions continue to thrive in our connected, modern world. In an age of globalization, Mongolia remains stubbornly unique, preserving ways of life that challenge everything we think we know about progress and civilization. Remember that Mongolia sits on trillions of dollars in mineral wealth while maintaining poverty rates that seem impossible in such a resource-rich nation. This paradox perfectly captures the mysterious nature of this incredible country. Which of these 15 facts shocked you the most? Was it the sacred art of never bathing, the walking marriages, or maybe the postal system that requires 50,000 horses? Let me know in the comments below which fact you found most unbelievable. If you're fascinated by cultures that seem almost impossible to exist in the modern world, don't forget to ring the bell, share with your friends, and subscribe so you won't miss the next updates. Comment below which country you'd like to see featured next on our channel. Thank you for joining me on this journey to explore the incredible mysteries of Mongolia. See you again on the next adventures. Let's keep discovering the unique cultures that shape our amazing world. We're so glad you were here with us today. Leave a comment, like the video to support us, and hit subscribe for more. Catch you soon.